Alright, hey, what's happening everyone? I am your Dragon God of Gaming, Damian Dragon, and welcome back to the Gaming News, where I run down a list of all the gaming news, facts, rumors, trivias, and everything coming out of the gaming industry this week. And today, unlike the other weeks, we only have one bad thing to talk about today, and that's just going to be verbatim. But the other two are going to be something real good. A collection of games has been unearthed, and Nintendo getting themselves into hot water yet again. I don't think this is as bad as normal, but people are getting fired up. So, without further ado, let's just hop straight into the news, and let's just cover it how we cover it. So, first off, rare sealed games. Yes, you heard that right. A gold mine of games was found in Nebraska storage facility, totaling a likely worth in the tens of thousands of dollars. All the games that were found was released around the 80s and 90s, from games ranging from the SNES, the Sega CD, Genesis, and more was found in the storage. As reported, these games were put in there after a local store closed down in 1994, and they had been untouched by man until now. A reseller called Game Room found the collection. The staff of Game Room made jokes that there are more copies of the less valuable NBA and Madden games, but the several boxes of rare games make up the lot, and then some. Some games that were shown off was the $2,400 priced sealed Chrono Trigger game. Another sealed game, which totaled a price of $1,400, was the TMNT 4 Turtles in Time game. Another one would be Final Fantasy 3, pricing in at $1,200, and Sunset Riders coming in at $750. There was more finds like Aladdin on SNES and Contra Hardcores on Genesis, but they are less exciting despite being in the hundreds of dollars themselves. That is a fucking find if I've ever seen. A sealed copy of Chrono Trigger, a sealed copy of TMNT Turtles in Time, a sealed copy of Final Fantasy 3. Come on. Come on. Like, those are a dime a dozen. Not even. No, they're like a penny in, like, underneath, like, $50,000 worth of sand. Like, that's how rare they are to find. Like, needle in a field of hay. You know what I mean? It's not even a needle in a haystack. No, it's a needle in a field full of hay. Like, that's how rare these games are. And for some of them that are priced at $2,400, $1,400, $1,200, these games are gems. And yeah, they found less valuable copies like NBA and Madden, but, you know, some of the rarer finds, like finding a sealed Chrono Trigger, come on. It's hard to come by. Extremely hard to come by. Like, you cannot get luckier than that. There is no freaking way you can get luckier than that. The games that were pulled off, Game Room is a reseller that resells video games, and hopefully they make a bunch of bank off of these. So, yeah, that's kind of coming in some of the biggest ones. I wanted to talk about this first off because you don't just find rare collections like this every single day. There is not a way you can. And being able to run through it at a storage facility and just see it and think about the thousands of dollars that you just made. Whew. Just whew. Alright. With that being said, we're going to move on from the games themselves to a game company that has landed themselves in some hot ass water. Oh my god, Nintendo. Oh, Nintendo. There is a lot we need to cover on you, and this is not going to be fun. Before I start this, I do just want to say that Nintendo does have a horrible track record when it comes to preserving games. So just keep that in mind. Nintendo comes under fire yet again for its decision to close its Wii U and 3DS stores, but not only for its closing, it is the awful way Nintendo has handled access to its back catalog of games. The Video Game History Foundation, which does awesome work to keep and preserve all video games and hardware, are extremely unhappy with Nintendo, in the fact that Nintendo, and I quote, actively funds lobbying that prevents even libraries from being able to provide legal access to these games. I want to read their full statement from the source. So this is coming from Kotaku.com, and VGHF, which is the Video Game History Foundation, says, and I quote, while it is unfortunate that people won't be able to purchase digital 3DS or Wii U games anymore, we understand the business reality that went into this decision. What we don't understand is what path Nintendo expects its fans to take. Should they wish to play these games in the future? As a paying member of the Entertainment Software Association, Nintendo actively funds lobbying that prevents even libraries from being able to provide legal access to these games. Not providing commercial access is understandable, but preventing institutional work to preserve these titles on top of that is actively destructive to video game history. We encourage ESA members like Nintendo to rethink their position on this issue and work with existing institutions to find a solution. Like they've said above, everyone can understand the business reality that went into the decision. Consoles come and go, as do their marketplaces. But the execution continues to be a disaster every time Nintendo tries it. While their active contempt for even the most harmless of preservation efforts is inexcusable, as the VGHF says above, they're actively destructive to video game history. Which, to be honest, I very much agree. Look at how they are to their own player base. Like, you get copyright strikes for playing a fucking Nintendo game. I'm glad I haven't really been hit with too many of Nintendo's, ban hammers for video games. But when I have, it's just like, oh my god, Christ, man. Like, we cannot play old video games from Nintendo like that. They're like, it's inexcusable for how badly Nintendo handles these things. And with how badly they handle these things, they're even worse when it comes to things like, preserving their old back catalogs of games, not allowing other people to use those back catalogs of games, and even though that you can't even purchase it as SNES no more, trying to play an old Nintendo game is like trying to skim on water. You're very likely to get, a hit with a copyright notice from Nintendo for doing absolutely nothing but play the damn game and enjoy it. You know why there's a lot of people that don't want to play Mario Kart much anymore? Well, besides the odd ones that play them now, I can tell you why, because they got copyrighted to hell and back just to play the game. For no reason. They purchased the game and then get actively copyrighted for playing the game that they actively paid for. Anyway. Sorry about that. I went on a little rant there. But yeah, Nintendo needs to get with the modern times. Like, really get with the modern times. Because that old way of thinking is not going to work no more. I'm sorry, but it's not. So, Nintendo, I know you're not ever going to see my video. More than likely, no one from Nintendo will ever come across my videos. But allow me to give you a piece of advice. We're actively helping you. We are putting your games more out there than you possibly could. So, we basically show off your game for free. Yes, some of us actually make money for playing the game. But does that really matter to you from somebody that makes billions of dollars a year? Does that really matter that some people make a good $13, $14 playing your game? And actively showing it off to probably hundreds of millions of people? that maybe were on the fence about playing your damn game? Is that too much to ask? That you not copyright us up the ass because you don't like us playing your game? If that's the case, then Nintendo, we can just stop playing Nintendo games. Just saying. Mario can tank down. You know what I mean? So, ease down, please. Anyway, before my next Nintendo game that I ever play gets copyrighted to hell and back and I get called into court, I'm going to move swiftly on. I'm going to talk about this very briefly because this really isn't much of a gaming news thing, but a pro gamer thing. I'm going to talk about this very briefly. This is coming from Kotaku.com. This is written by Brian Ashcraft, and they write thusly: pro gamer fired after saying men under 5'7" don't have human rights. Yeah, ow. Professional Tekken player at Tunakana has been booted from Osaka-based esports team Cyclops Athlete Gaming for remarks she made about men's heights during a live stream, following a recent spate of far more incendiary remarks. Cyclops Athlete Gaming competes in first-person shooters like PUBG, Call of Duty, and Rainbow Six Siege, as well as fighting games like Tekken. She has been featured in the mainstream Japanese press, including this clip from newspaper Kobe Shimbun. She was, as Kotaku's Ian Walker previously wrote, a rising star. In a February 15th stream, Tunakana said, Tanua Kana, I'm sorry, I'm not trying to disrespect her name. I'm just trying to read it, but I kind of messed that up, so I apologize. Men who are under 170 centimeters, 5'6.9 inches, don't have human rights. She added they should look into getting bone lengthening surgery. According to a helpline, the average height for a man in Japan is 170.8 centimeters, or 5'7.5" inches. As of writing, Kotaku wasn't able to confirm the content of the entire stream. However, in this clip, I'm not even going to keep on saying her name, also said people with A cup-sized breasts also didn't have human rights. She recently seems to have a record of saying terrible things. Blog My Game Newsflash has dug up earlier comments she made in a live stream in 2020 in which she apparently told someone during a stream to off themselves, and that they were the trashiest trash of society. In the West, some might interpret her remarks as a poor meme or a joke. In Japan, it set off a firestorm online with people calling it discriminatory. Obviously, you could read it literally as a remark against a group of people, but power dynamics make it a bit more complicated than saying something truly discriminatory about a protected or vulnerable class. And then how a deleted tweet, which can be seen here, I'm not gonna show that off. She wrote, "It was pointed out to that my stream contained hate speech." She added that this was not her intention and that she poorly expressed her love of tall people. She did apologize, but it was hardly the kind of formal apology that's become expected in Japan. This made people online even more upset. I'm not going to keep on going too far in, but this woman had said some of the most hateful things I have ever heard. And no, in the West, this will also be deemed really dumb. I don't care if you say that, I'm 6'1", 6'2". I know what it's like to be big, but I never thought that short people are less than me. Absolutely not. She's tried to say that it was not her intention, that she poorly expressed her love of tall people. Poorly express your love for tall people. You could have just said, I kind of like taller people. And just say, hey, there's nothing against shorter people, but I'm more into taller people. Or that I have more of an affinity for taller people. There was no reason to say that they don't have any rights. I'm not going to go on too further with this because this really wasn't a part of my gaming news sources. But I wanted to put this in here because this was one of the most derogatory things in the world. I am myself a professional gamer. I am not on no esports team, but I can say for a definite, I do watch what the hell I say on stream, on camera, and in my own personal beings. So anytime I'm awake, I watch what the hell I say. And that is not something you just say verbatim. I don't care if you are known for like really poor jokes, but if you have a really poor joke, that's just kind of screwed up. There is no way of really saying anything to help yourself. She was fired from the team. She was kicked and booted, and know what, rightfully so. That is not something you just say, especially when you are publicly representing not only a team but sponsors and everything like that. That is not something you just come out and say. That is very stupid. So, my lady, for whoever you are, I'm sorry that, you know, if it was supposed to be some kind of joke, I'm sorry that it happened to you, but wording is everything, okay? Wording is everything. And if you're gonna come right out and say short people do not have any rights, or anybody with a smaller cup size doesn't have any rights, hun, from the look of you, sweetheart, not gonna say anything, but you're kind of making a fool of yourself too. Just saying. I'm not even gonna say it yourself, but you kind of put yourself into that mix as well, judging by your appearance as well. So if you're gonna talk shit about people that are smaller or women that have less of a reduction, honey, so do you. You're not up there with that either. Just because you're a massive gamer means nothing. Everyone should be treated as equal. It doesn't matter how, you know, big of a star you are. You know, bring your ass back down to earth. Because just because you're way up here in the atmosphere in terms of your popularity doesn't mean that that star can't come crashing the fuck back down. Cool? Cool. So to all my viewers that do tune in to some of my stuff, do me a favor and be a fucking good person. Be a good individual. You know, because sometimes they'll come back and bite you in the fucking ass. That's why every day I'm humble for everything I have and whatever I do achieve. I do not care how big I get. I care about my viewers. I care about my base. I care about the people around me. I care about common human decency. That's kind of what my whole life expectancy is on. I care about people. I may not always like people, but I care about their well-being, and I care about what the hell I say. Everyone deserves to be treated equal. And if you're trying to say that some people deserve, you know, less than others because of the way they were born, then go screw yourself. You deserve nothing less than what they have. And you want something, it's a good thing, because guess what? You were picked out the fucking sky and brought right back down to the fucking earth. So, hon, let me pull out a lesson for you. That was stupid, and let's learn a lesson. Cool? Cool. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, thank you guys so much for tuning in for the gaming news. I'm sorry how that ended, but when somebody comes out like that and, you know, doesn't have basic human decency, then I get mad. So, anyway, ladies and gentlemen, thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you guys so much for listening. I appreciate you guys joining us for another episode and hope everyone enjoyed. But it's time for us to end off. If you guys have not yet, go down in the description and go check out all of our lovely and beautiful content creators. They all are awesome human beings. So I want to put a spotlight on Miss Cyclonic Wolfos. She has been upping her game lately in terms of the content. So if you guys want to go check her out, I suggest you do so. She's a lovely person. Always a fun person to be around. So if you guys want to go check her out, please and thank you. And while you're down there, also come check out some of my other stuff. My YouTube channel and my Twitch channel is also in the description below. Please check out everything I have. So until then, ladies and gentlemen, hope you guys enjoyed, but it's time for us to end off. You guys know my deal. You guys know my squeal. Good gaming, happy hunting, and I'll see all you Dragonlings back inside the world of the gaming news. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys next time for some more Damian Dragon action. Peace.